Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Cardfight Vanguard Overdress Flagburg deck profile for Post-Awakening of Chakrabarthi. With the latest Cardfight Vanguard Overdress set, we were given new support for the Aquaforce-like deck, being the Flagburg Stoicheia deck. It's a deck that focuses on multiple attacks that you can do against your opponent. Very, very strong with the new support we got for the deck. And overall, I would say definitely one of the more intriguing Stoicheia decks. Looking at the main unit, it definitely looks like a broken down form of Maelstrom, which was one of the main Aquaforce decks in total. But I'm happy with the results of the new support we got for the deck and just the consistency of being able to make 5 attacks and get the full utilization of Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the ride deck. Our starter is the Officer Cadet Cherokles. I'd say it's just the most fitting starter with the deck, sharing the naval vessel sort of theme that the other Aquaforce units used to make, with our grade 1 being Inroad Shooter. When this unit is rode upon by Ascendant's Assault, which is the grade 2 of the ride deck, you can call this card to rearguard. And on rear, since we will be calling it to rearguard, if your Vanguard is Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, or Ascendant's Assault, this unit gets Intercept and plus 2,000 power, meaning it can hit against most 10k grade 2 Vanguards your opponent may have on the field, but also being able to intercept the following turn as a free grade 2 intercept you just called to the field. It doesn't make it a grade 2, but it being able to have 10k and intercept just makes it, I would say, 1 close enough. With our grade 2 being Ascendant's Assault, you may reveal a Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, or Inroad Shooter from your hand for this cost, and when this unit is rode upon, you can Soul Blast one other than this card and call this card to rear. So with this card from the auto pay with the rode upon option, giving you another card onto the field to use, and our grade 3 for the deck being our Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, having the 2 cards below being able to just be called out to the field, and also our main go-to unit will be Persona riding into. We are running 3 additional copies of Flagburg Dragon. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1 and perform all the following according to the number of attacks you made this turn. If it's 3 or more attacks, you draw a card. If it's 4 or more, your opponent chooses 2 rearguards and retires them. If it's 5 or more, until the end of the battle, this unit gets plus 10,000 power, and when your opponent would call cards from their hand to guard, they must call 3 or more cards at the same time. Pretty much shutting down sentinels that your opponent will want to use against you, because then you'll just have to put 2 additional cards, using up a good number of cards in their hand, but also being able to make your opponent retire rearguards can either get rid of resources like intercepts they may have wanted to keep on the field, or back row units that they want for their following turn. Flagburg got real consistent with the new cards we got in the deck, so with the Persona Ride and the plus 10 power, the 33,000 it can be attacking for will fully be utilized against your opponent with that skill. For the other grade 3 that I run in the deck, we're running the new grade 3, which is the Blue Artillery Dragon, Inlet Pulse Dragon. On rearguard, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked a grade 3 or greater Vanguard. If it was the first battle of this turn, and your Vanguard is Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, you can Soul Blast 1 and stand this unit. So with that restand power, I'll show the main combo that you can use with your other cards in the deck to get 5 attacks off in the turn. So with this option for the restand, and at the end of the turn, if the total number of attacks this turn is 4 or more, you can put this unit into your soul and draw a card, meaning that you can avoid this card being destroyed by your opponent's card effects, or even being placed in the prison with cards like Seraph Snow, but being put into your soul with your opponent with cards like Barrow Magnus. You'll just take it into your own hands and get a draw out of it also. Moving on now to the grade 2s. I normally don't run additional units that are, played in the ride deck, additionally in the main deck, but 3 Ascendant's Assault on rearguard once per turn when your other rearguard attacks a Vanguard. If your Vanguard is Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, counterblast 1, and stand this unit. So the main play that you'll do with this card is you'll have your Ascendant's Assault and your Inlet Pulse Dragon. You will first attack with the Inlet Pulse Dragon using the Soul Blast to then restand this card. You will then attack with Ascendant's Assault and then have the second attack there. You will then attack with your Inlet Pulse Dragon for the third attack, using the Counterblast for your Ascendant's Assault to restand this card, getting off your final 4th attack with this card, and then attacking with your Flagburg Dragon for the 5th and final attack. And for the additional grade 2s that I run in the deck, I'm also running 2 Aggress Blue Dragon. I would have ran more of this card in the deck, but sadly it's a once per turn at the end of the battle that attacked a rear guard if your opponent's Vanguard. If your Vanguard is Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, Soul Blast 1 and stand this unit. So the fact that it has to attack a rear guard is why I like Inlet Pulse Dragon a little more, because this card can at least attack your opponent's Vanguard and deal damage to them, while this card at best can either just swing at a Vanguard that's too weak to hit against, or swing at one that would be an interceptor that your opponent may have potentially had to either use early on anyway, or retire when you attack with Flagburg Dragon. And I also run additionally 2 of the new Clipping Dragon of Soul Revolution. At the end of your turn, if you're Alchemagic in order and played it, or attacked a total of 5 or more times this turn, put this unit into your soul and you countercharge 1, making it so this card will be used for the soul as well, and also giving you a countercharge, because you'll definitely use up a lot of both of these in the deck altogether for resources. You can even just place this card behind your Vanguard or behind one of your other front row units that will attack, and then just place it into the soul, along with cards like Inlet Pulse Dragon, avoiding your opponent having any targets to use for prison or retiring. And then for the rest of the grade 2s, I also run 2 Blooming Petal Caryophyllus. When this unit is placed on rear, if your soul has no cards, you soul charge 2. It's another way to make up for the soul charge in this deck, because you will definitely use it a lot with cards like your Inlet Pulse Dragon. So meaning you at least have those resources to make up for those, and also Aggress Blue Dragon, requiring the Soul Blast to make these cards work. And now, moving on to the grade 1s, I'm running 4 Prized Trident. When your other unit attacks, if it's the 5th battle of this turn, put this unit into your soul and countercharge 1. So this card can even boost one of your other rear guards after that attack finishes. When your Flagburg attacks for the 5th battle that turn, putting this unit into the soul just to countercharge 1. You can ideally put, 3 rear guards into your soul, being these 3 when you have the field set up, fulfilling the needs of all of them on the field, and then having nothing for your opponent to touch their turn if they were to try and retire or make use of any of your rear guards. And it's an 8k grade 1 booster, meaning it can definitely help with boosting any of your rear guards, all the better even if you Persona Road that turn. And I also run 3 of the High Rate Burst Dragon. With this card, when it's placed on rear, if your Vanguard's Flagship Dragon, Flagburg Dragon, choose one of your other rear guards, and until the end of the turn, that unit gets on rear guard when this unit attacks. If it's the first battle of that turn or more, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, and stand this unit. So you can give this power to cards like Soul Revolution, or even your Caryophyllus, or just going off of some of the strength. Plenty of options to use with this card, and also requiring another Soul Blast makes use of cards like Blooming Petal and also Soul Revolution to make up for that Soul Blast that this card, along with Inlet and Aggress Blue Dragon, need. For the rest of the grade 1s, we're running 4 of the Planner Prevent Dragon, just the Stoicheia preferred Sentinel. If your hand is low on cards, lowering down the cost for discard. With this card, being able to preserve the other grade 1s that you'll use in your hand against your opponents. And for the orders, the only order that I run in the deck is the Spiritual Body Condensation. It does use a Soul Blast, but it calls out cards from the drop zone to the field. So if you need a particular unit on the field, just choosing a card with a grade less than or equal to your Vanguard. So as long as you have Flagburg, you can target any of the other units you have in this deck and call them out onto the field rearguard circle. And moving on now to the trigger lineup, I'm running 7 critical, so 4 of the Aspiring Maiden, Alana, and 3 of the Abyss Temptation. Criticals just provide the most pressure. Fronts aren't something you want to run in this deck, since Flagburg will be the last unit attacking altogether. So really, front trigger will not provide anything, but 7 critical gives you plenty of pressure, especially when your opponent can't even guard the attack. And 4 of the new draw trigger, the Serene Maiden, Lena, since you need that additional draw power, and it's the only other, I would say, optional vital trigger to run, and giving you the plus 5,000 shield. With the last heal trigger, my heal trigger of choice is just Petronola. I was able to get it from the case, so if you can use them, definitely, I think it's one of the coolest looking heals we have in D format currently. And our over trigger for the deck is Bless Favor, being the heal option and additional critical option, and power to the front row makes the Aquaforce like Flagburg Stoicheia deck all the stronger against your opponents. And just a reminder, as the go-to combo revolving around Ascendant's Assault, and for the 5 attacks, needing Flagburg and Inlet Pulse, you will have need at least the Soul to work off of in your deck as well. So if you attack with Inlet Pulse Dragon, having the Soul Blast to restand this card, and then swinging with your Ascendant's Assault with the first attack, and then having the third attack be Inlet Pulse Dragon, using the Counterblast to restand Ascendant's Assault, attacking once more for the 4th attack, and the 5th and final attack will be Flagburg, and as long as you have the Counterblast, you will make it so your opponent cannot guard unless they guard with 3 cards. They will retire 2 rear guards, and you'll also get to draw a card and give this unit +10. So if you by chance Persona Road, you will have 33,000 going up against your opponent altogether. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Definitely interested in building this for the longest time. Finally gathered up all I needed for the deck and happy with the results. And I hope you all enjoyed it as well. We're pretty much almost done with all the updates from Awakening of Chakrabarthi. We just need, I would say, maybe a couple more decks to get to. And they're ones I've updated recently from set 3 and ones that really didn't have much more support to go off of. But I will eventually get to them. And then we have set 5 to look forward to right over the horizon. So as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.